Hello everybody, welcome to a new reading vlog. The laundry machine is going and I'm pretty sure you can hear it, but I'm very sorry. I am starting a new reading vlog today, as you can tell by the title, and the point of it is to get ahead of my fucking Goodreads challenge because your girl has been consistently behind since the beginning of the year. Like before, like while I was reading my first book of the year that I was like low-key struggling through, it was like one book behind. Okay, and I know that it doesn't matter because it's a goal that I set for myself and nothing is going to happen if I don't reach that goal. I literally have the choice to change that number. However, yeah, I'm quite a competitive person, especially when it comes to myself. I want to be able to reach my goal, my personal goal of 150 books this year. So today I just went to go get my lashes done by a family friend, and the best way to get there is to walk. So I listened to an audiobook that I have been loving. I'm not very far into it, and on the way home I grabbed some bagels and bubble tea. This is the Dirty Brown Sugar Milk Tea with bubbles. Exceptional. But I've been listening to the audiobook of Blackout by an assortment of authors and I am loving it. Okay, this is beautiful. I love the narration. I'm only on like the third or fourth story. I love the voices of the narrators, and I know that the voices of the narrators really make it or break it for me. And the story that I'm listening to right now, I believe is narrated by Imani Parks, and her voice is just the most soothing, melodic voice. I could listen to her all day. And then I have 2 or 3 graphic novels and one of my most anticipated books of the year that I want to read. I want to use this reading vlog to not only catch up, but to get ahead, because I will inevitably fall behind again because I have not been reading as much as I would like to per day, per week, blah blah blah. First graphic novel is Thirsty Mermaids by Leyh, I think, recommended by Jessie. They recommended this on their Instagram story, I think like a while back, and it came, I borrowed it, did not have the time to read it, so then I'm borrowing it again now. The next one is The Good Asian, Volume 1. Oh, I didn't know it was a series, and it's apparently a noir comic. A haunted, self-loathing Chinese-American detective on the trail of a killer in 1936 San Francisco, which I kind of love. The Good Asian is Chinatown noir starring the first generation of Americans to come of age under an immigration ban, the Chinese, as they're besieged by rampant murders, abusive police, and a world that seemingly never changes. And this one is maybe a little bit fantasy. We're following 3 tipsy mermaids. 3 mermaids magically masquerading as humans, and they sneak onto land to find more alcohol. That's kind of funny. And then my most anticipated book, hello, is The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. It is a book club pick for Lala and Gabby, so I will be reading it for that. I believe I should be able to fly through this. Jess, who is broke and probably got fired, maybe left her job, she moves to Paris where her half-brother Ben lives. When she gets there, it turns out her brother is missing and she is trying to figure out where he is. Everyone's a neighbor, everyone's a suspect, and everyone knows something they're not telling. And my current book, actually, that I totally forgot about that I thought I would be able to finish before this vlog is Where They Found Her by Kimberly McCreight. I am very behind on Gabby's book club picks. This is for January pick. I'm already like over halfway into it, so it shouldn't take me that long. Those are what I'm planning on doing. I hope this is a successful reading vlog because I haven't had much success in reading. I had 2 DNFs in February, but also 3 5-star reads, which were mostly graphic novels, so hope this goes well. I'm also totally feeling myself because I got my lashes done. She's a new person, y'all. She's a new person. I'm going to start reading today of Where They Found Her. I need to put this down somewhere. Okay, my hair looks cray. This is taking place in a town in New Jersey, and this dead baby is found, like a literal newborn infant. A freelance journalist who just moved to Jersey has to write this article following the story for the local paper, but she's also dealing with like her own grief of having lost her own baby, and I'm intrigued, like whose baby is this, right? There's also the articles of that Molly, the main character, is writing. One of the main characters is writing is included with the commentaries of people in the town. I'm getting through it quickly. So far where we are, we still don't know who the suspect is or anybody like that. I have an idea of who it might be. The book is telling you something differently, but I feel like, but I do know that Barbara is the fucking worst little bitch. I just finished Where They Found Her by Kimberly McCreight, and I have 20 minutes left in my audiobook of Blackout, which I still am really enjoying. I've also like been calculating my page count this far. I think my rating for this is going to be 3 stars. I thought it was a good twist, a little bit predictable, but I still like had a decent time with this, and I definitely will be looking at her other books. I really was enjoying it, but like I said, it was predictable, the twist. I am fine with that typically, but I like there to be like a second twist, that some detail that I just didn't see coming at all, but unfortunately there wasn't. So far with Thursday I read 151 pages, and with this I read 92, so I just had to change out my battery. So far with yesterday I read 151 pages, and today with finishing this book I've read 92 pages. So I have a total of 243 pages. I need to go to the post office to pick up my book of the month package. I'm debating whether or not I want to start one of the graphic novels today, but since I won't be coming home tonight, I finished packing, and the book I'm going to be starting is obviously The Paris Apartment. I'm gonna head out now. I definitely have more than enough time to finish listening to this audiobook. I just finished Blackout. Collectively, I'm giving it 4 stars. I really enjoyed this story, but some of them were 4 stars, and I think maybe 1 or 2 were 5 stars. I really should have written down which ones I liked, but I think I really preferred the audiobook experience of this, because one story, I think it's by Nick Stone, is the longest one, and it's broken up into several parts. It alternates between that story, a different story, Nick Stone story, and other stories. I think that reading it physically would have sort of taken me out of that specific story, but listening to it and on audio allowed me to associate that story with the narrator's voice, and so I could kind of flip back, and it was an easier switch for me to do that, and I really enjoyed this. It's a great YA novel talking about like self-discovery, being assured of who you are, and discovering new things about yourself. I really love stories like that. I can't wait to start reading The Paris Apartment. I'm like getting ready for bed. Last dessert. This is the chocolate peanut butter bar from Haagen-Dazs. I started The Paris Apartment on Friday, didn't read at all on Saturday. Very predictable of me. So I do want to read a graphic novel as well to catch up for page count and also my goal, because I essentially forgot about it this weekend. So far I'm only like 100-ish pages into it, and it's very much like the guest list. There is a set of characters that are all suspect, and we're trying to figure out who is not telling the truth and who is the most suspect, because essentially they're all hiding something. One of the characters, I think it is the socialite, the rich woman. She is giving me Sylvie vibes from Emily in Paris, which I have not watched season 2. I'm gonna continue reading this, and I think I want to read The Good Asian also. And I came home and my sister had scored me a copy of an anticipated read for 2022, which is Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hillier, and I've had so many that I forgot about this one, but she managed to get it for me. I don't think I'll get to reading it in this vlog, but maybe the next vlog, and I'm quite excited. But it doesn't actually come out until July, so I have some time. I finished The Good Asian last night, and I don't really know how to feel about it. I don't think I've ever read a book in noir. I think I'm gonna give this book 3 stars. I feel like there was very little context. I did need to sleep right away after I finished this, so I still am going to read the historical notes this has regarding the Chinese Exclusion Act and Angel Island. I'm just like very confused with this being volume 1. The main character is a Chinese American detective, but nobody really sees him as a detective, and he is like snitching on his own people basically, but he's not really like seen as a cop either, so I don't really know. Maybe 2.5 stars. Reading this, my total count for this entire reading vlog is now 644 pages. Last night at work, after I was finished and I was hanging out, I finished The Paris Apartment, and I read like the last 200 pages yesterday. It was gripping me. Like, people were trying to distract me because they saw how I was reacting to the book, and I was not like letting that affect me. And then it kind of like flopped at the end, which wasn't great. I mean, it didn't like entirely flop, like it wasn't the worst ending, but I wasn't really happy with it. I feel like when it was gripping me, it could have been 5 stars, but it wasn't, so I'm giving it 4 stars. I'm curious as to see how Lala rates it for her book club, but also how Gabby rates it, so I'll have to wait till the end of the month for both of their live shows. I still really enjoyed this, but I think I definitely enjoyed the guest list a lot more. I am going to start a different book, The Heart Principle, because that wasn't like on this TBR, but I wanted to be able to get to that because it was one of my most anticipated reads of last year. But right now I think I have like an hour before I need to leave for work, so I'm gonna get on to The Thirsty Mermaids graphic novel just so that I have like a good page count, and I'll have to tally that up with including the Paris apartment. Not me realizing that I was like a little bit off on the page counts before, but the correct total right now is 872 pages. I read so much yesterday. I read over 140 pages and I'm really enjoying this, and I needed to do an update because I'm almost 50% of the way through with this. I have like no idea where to look on my phone, but I'm really enjoying this, and I really love Helen Hoang's other two books. I kind of had the warning that this is kind of heavier than her other books, and it's not like this cute fluffy smutty romance at all. Anna is a successful violinist, and she goes viral on YouTube, and her boyfriend suddenly drops this bomb on her. After 5 years of dating, he's like, hey, I want to marry you, but I want to be sure, so let's be in an open relationship. So has no idea what to do with that information, but she's like, okay, if you're screwing other people, then I want to get it on with other people too. She meets Kwon, who we know from the other books in this series. They try to have a one-night stand and it fails, and they ultimately start dating. But when tragedy strikes Anna's family, she takes on the role that threatens to destroy her, and now Kwon and Anna have to fight for their chance at love. It's heavy because Anna is going to therapy. She's kind of in this creative rut. Her therapist thinks that she might be on the autism spectrum, and her family does not believe her, and they're really mean about it. Her whole life, her whole identity is sort of changing because she's realizing that she might be on the spectrum. But I really like it so far, and I already knew that Kwon is so sweet and he's dealing with his own shit, so I really like this so far, and I feel like maybe it was good that I sort of had that warning, but I don't mind the heavy topic in this at all. I'm always in the same position. I finished The Heart Principle last night, and I'm still 2 books behind, but I'm gonna be finishing up this vlog. Going into this, I'm giving this a solid 4 stars. I really wanted this to be a 5-star, and I guess a part of me is glad that I kind of had the warning that it's not going to be this rom-com and it covers heavy topics, especially after reading the author's note. This book especially was very personal to the author. She was pulling from her own experiences, which is why she explained that she chose to write this book in first person for both Anna and Kwon, as opposed to the typical third person as she's done. I was really angry for Anna the whole time. Fuck her family. Mostly her sister Priscilla, because she just never even wanted to try to understand Anna, and she was so childish. Like, even being 15 years older than her, she kind of just never even bothered to understand or be in her shoes, and I was really angry for Anna this whole time, and I love that she had somebody like Kwon to be there for her, and this was just amazing. I mean, Helen Hoang does it again. I'm just so excited to see what else Helen Hoang is going to put out. I'm going to quickly do the calculations for what I have for this vlog. I know a large part of this is because I read 2 graphic novels, but my final page count for this vlog is 1,461 pages, which is lovely. And although I did not get ahead on my Goodreads challenge, I'm still like only 2 books behind now, and right after I finish this vlog, I'm going to start Heartstopper Volume 4, so I think that I can still get ahead of it this week. Just to wrap everything up, Where They Found Her by Kimberly McCreight, which I gave 3 stars. Oh my god, yeah, I read Blackout. Oh my god, I totally forgot that I read this audiobook too, and I gave that 4 stars. I also read Paris Apartment, which I gave a solid 4 stars. Good Asian, 2.5. Thirsty Mermaids, 3 stars. Heart Principle, which is also 4 stars. I feel really good. It's a really solid reading vlog, and I read a decent amount. Will I catch up on my reading goal for the next reading vlog? We'll see, but I'm still really happy with how I did and the books that I read. Let me know if you enjoyed, what books you've read, your thoughts on Heart Principle probably the most, and also Paris Apartment. And I'll see you all in my next vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.